Hello, everyone. What is going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the Jedi Academy LP Part 17, where we're going back.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. We're back. Sadly, only 11 years later, finally more sequels to Jedi Academy.
If only.
God. Oh, stop. Now we're going down a road of a discussion I was not planning on. We're back. We got, sorry we missed last week, but we have some shows and anime and such to talk about. We saw about a bunch of movies and stuff, and we had some mostly kind of unfortunate news, honestly. A lot of pretty sad stuff this
Yeah, I
last
remember
few
going
weeks,
to last week, we're like, man, there's nothing good to talk about. Let's just go save democracy and
Let's just
Super
go
Earth instead.
save for Super
Or Super.
or I feel like I've been leaning a lot more since the terminal montage video. I've been leaning a lot more. Democracy never sleeps. When he shoots away. I rewatched that video at work yesterday after we all watched it on Sunday. That's
Hell
really
yeah.
funny. But anyway, who am I here with that I'm talking to on my
As
right?
always, it's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
And on my left.
Just Tyler, only Tyler, your boy. I ain't got.
Just only your boy.
Just only your boy.
Also,
Tyler.
funny, totally unrelated, but we're recording this the day of the Baltimore bridge collapse. My dad just texted me one of those, those safe things that Facebook has?
I like the
Like-
marked safe from.
Marked safe from being hit by a container ship today. My dad just texted me that.
Damn.
Oh my God,
This.
Dad.
Damn,
That's a
damn,
dad
damn,
out of 10 humor.
I was telling Tyler before we started, like, just imagine being in one of those cars when it
Oh,
collapsed.
stop. Now you're making
That's
it real.
some destination shit.
Yeah, that's
Well,
pretty wild.
Imagine if that had been at rush hour. Like, oh my God.
Yeah, thank God it was 1:30 in the morning. It was only like construction crew up there.
Thank God only some
Stop.
people
No.
died.
Okay.
Happy
Speak.
And not more
Hey,
people died.
hey, let's talk. Hey, let's talk about other good news, like the fact that
Oh,
Rooster
God.
Teeth shut down. Oh, wait, shit.
Oh,
no.
Oof.
wait, shit, wait.
So yeah, after many, many years of dwindling views and dwindling everything, dwindling, many of the original people leaving, Rooster Teeth has officially been shut down by Warner Brothers, kings of killing everything.
Was
There-
it you? Someone said it was like, the Warner Brothers kiss of death strikes
Yeah.
again.
It's
Um,
insane what they're doing here. They're like, oh, we couldn't find a seller. It's like, no. You couldn't find a seller big enough, so you'd rather just shut it down as a tax
Yeah.
write-off.
Yeah, another in the long line of Warner Brothers killing things that people are interested in. But I mean, so apparently the podcast network that they have called The Roost is going to continue because, of course, that probably was making money. Because let's be honest, it's not like podcasts cost as much as things like Ruby or Red versus Blue.
There's a
Yeah.
reason we make a podcast and not an animated show here at the TNT Podcast.
If one of
For
us
real.
ever wins the $1 billion lottery, can we all agree that we're going to finance an animated show that all of us voice in? Because that'd be pretty sweet. I think we can make that work. We can.
No. My voice ain't good enough.
Tyler, it's not about
Freeman's
being
is
good.
the only one who'd probably be good enough.
Oh, I'm down. I'm funding this
I
show.
would definitely hire voice actors for.
I will play the villain.
Tyler, we have to at least be in the show if we fund the show.
Yeah,
I'll
let
make
me
a ca- I'll make
let
a
me cameo as
cameo.
that one side guy who's like ordering a sandwich at a shop or something.
No joke.
Yeah.
No joke. I was having this really funny. This is a total tangent, but it's much happier than Rooster Teeth. So last night, as everyone does, occasionally you dream about winning the lottery. What you do. I've said on podcast before that I would probably pay for, if I could find a way to pay for a remake of one video game.
Oh yeah.
One of my top choices would be Empire Earth because that's one of my favorite games ever. And because I was listening to Mandalore Gaming, his review of Empire Earth from years ago, and the voice acting in that game is so hilariously bad. I would want, if I was making a strategy game or something these days and I had unlimited budget, I would want to have the professional voice acting voice pack. And then I would want the voice pack of all the devs doing it like the old school way where they just go into a booth on like their off hours or their lunch break and they just record lines for units. Like, how funny would that be if you were playing a game and you're like, I could listen to the dialogue from real voice actors, or I could listen to the devs shout and peek into the microphone.
I mean, that is high quality shit. Like, actually,
That's what I would want to do. Is like even if we funded a show and we weren't the main voice actors, imagine if there's an alternate take where we do like the hour take track. That'd be fun. But you know it's not fun? Rooster Teeth shutting down. After my random
but they
tangent.
talk about people
tangent-
doing their own like voiceovers, right?
So,
Originally.
exactly. So that's where this comes from. It's like, it's crazy to think. Like for all of the time since I haven't watched a Rooster Teeth thing in years. I didn't watch the podcast for years. I never liked Ruby from like minute 0 really. Red versus Blue season 10 is the end of the show for me. I have not watched a single thing past that.
I stopped way earlier
Wait,
than
they
that.
had been going on and on. I didn't know about this.
Oh, Red versus Blue has
I
been
thought Red
going
versus
on.
Blue had
What
stopped
was
at
it
some
at like
point.
16, 17, 18 seasons?
You gotta be kidding me.
Something like that. Oh yeah, man. They went on for like a really long time.
Was it like Family Guy where it just kind of like lost the point at some point?
Well, they had a plot. Like the first 2 seasons or so, there's not much plot, and then they kind of pick it up, and then around season 8, they got into like a serious plot, which is when Wash shows up, right, Tyler?
Yeah.
And then there's a whole thing with like the freelancers, and they kind of work in this like their own storyline, and then it ends at season 10. And then season 11 was like, let's reboot with a new cast, and then they could move in and then they run into the old cast and stuff. And season 11 is I just never, I think I made it like barely any episodes into season 11 because season 10 it was already starting to fade away. But like season 8 and 9 is like peak Monty animated fight scenes joining the show instead of just machinima.
Yeah.
So that's when it was still pretty good in my mind. There's still good stuff there. Less good, but like those early seasons, man, those are still some of the. We did our watch, right? Where we all watched season 1 together.
Yeah.
Yeah. That man still
Feels like a while ago at this point.
It's still so.
Season 1
so
and 2
quotable.
peak.
So quotable.
It's
Why
bad
are
that
there
I
6
love how the
pedals
more
when there's only 4 directions?
there's only 4 directions. If you're gay, or if you're a robot and he's your boyfriend, that must make you a gay robot. It's so fucking
Yes,
stupid.
Caboose.
Is that
I
a
am a
spider?
gay robot.
Get it off!
It's not a spider. It's like a glowing thing. Get it off.
Get it off!
I don't want to touch it.
I fucking love it.
Longest plasma.
I
grenade
use
ever.
I use the Puma line too a
Oh
lot.
my god.
But what the hell's a
What in
Puma? It's
Sam
like
Hill
a
is
big
a puma?
cat.
It's a big cat.
What have I told you about making up animals?
Oh man.
Rest in peace.
So yeah, apparently part of this deal is that things like Ruby and Red versus Blue are getting sold off. Ruby is still like weirdly big to some people, I think. I don't know. Maybe because it's like Western animation that's kind of anime, but like Oops
I
All
think
Girl
it was
Squad.
hot originally. People like listen. I also didn't think Ruby was that good minute 0
yeah.
either. I think people. This is me. This could be a hot take. I don't know, but I think people were into it because Monty Ohm did the animation.
Oh,
drop mic.
yeah.
There's 100% why I watched. Like originally I didn't know about it. My friend shows me all 4 of the like original promotional trailers that came out that are all just like no context action scenes. I'm like, this looks dope. I'm watching this. And I saw episode 1. I was like, this sucks. I'm not gonna watch this.
Yeah,
And didn't watch any more of it.
It's definitely a case of like no disrespect to Monty for the fact that he built Rooster Teeth animation from himself doing those like what's it called?
The Halo like
Haloid or
Metroid
whatever.
fight. Haloid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm about to watch that right now. Jesus Christ, that shit was hot. That shit was hot, boy.
No, but that's crazy impressive. But like Ruby screams of we don't actually have a lot of writing or acting skill. Like it's just cool animation. But even then, it kind of looked like what you think of like mobile games look like now. Like if you think about what Genshin Impact kind of like looks like on a bad day, kind of. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like that blocky, like 2D, very flat-looking mouth movement thing. Like it never struck me at all.
Like in Kingdom Hearts when you're not in a pre-rendered cutscene kind of thing.
I don't know, but it is definitely the end of the era. But you can definitely see that like a lot of the guys left. There was the achievement hunter like scandal with that guy who worked there. A lot of the original creators left, or like Joel kind of seemingly like went kind of, what is it called, like red pilled or whatever, like down the rabbit hole kind of thing, conspiracy theorist guy, and Bernie ducked out a while ago, and there's been a lot of drama around it, and it's still sad that it's gone, but it's like, I don't know. We'll always have the very cheap on Amazon Blu-ray box set. Every Christmas for like the last 10 years there's been a Blu-ray box set of Red vs. Blue for like $50, and I still have mine. So those old Red vs. Blue seasons are like, it's weird to think, like I watched a lot of like Achievement Hunter and stuff when it first came out, but Red vs. Blue is like the only thing that's really stuck with me.
Yeah.
And Freeman, we definitely need to keep, Tyler and I need to keep carrying you along on your seeing of Red versus Blue, because those early seasons are all really.
I was gonna say, I think
really
unfortunately
fun.
we're gonna have to restart the rewatch back all the way from the beginning, because I'm already forgetting all of it, and
Hey.
I do want to re-appreciate the humor again.
Listen, I'll watch Red vs. Blue season 1. I'll go fuck.
Yeah, I was saying.
Also,
Hey.
season 1 is like 2 hours long, barely. So
Yeah, it's like a movie.
Yeah.
I was trying to. Hey.
I know you're supposed to move on, but you know.
No,
whatever.
no. I was saying, hey, I was trying to lead into it, Tyler, so that you could do the. You're supposed to. I was starting the opening scene.
Oh, why are we here in this box canyon?
Yeah, I was trying to lead into it.
Yeah, I fucked up.
Yeah, whatever.
Because I'm watching Haloid, I'm not. On some real shit, dude. This was so cool, man. Oh my god, it's not fair.
No one had, and remember scouring the internet to try to find anything even sort of like that, and it just didn't exist at all.
It didn't exist.
Anyway, you mentioned season 1 is. I was saying, you mentioned season 1 is almost as long as a movie. Let's talk about another movie that's going to exist.
I legitimately had no idea this got announced.
So I thought it was just a rumor, and then IGN posts this whole thing saying like it's confirmed. Netflix is making Happy Gilmore 2.
Terrible idea.
This is so stupid. So I don't know.
Well, I know why they're doing it.
I'm assuming that neither of you two watched Adam Sandler's last movie, You're So Not Invited, to my bat mitzvah. So Adam
I thought
Sandler
he was
has,
trying to be like, you know, a serious actor.
He did that one time and then went back.
So he played the dad character, but he played it somewhat straight, but also like his comedy as a background character is getting good, and I think that's where he's trying to position himself in his production company, where he's trying to have other people star, and he's just like, I'm going to be in the movie, but like I'm not the star of the movie.
He's probably getting tired of starring in these movies and having to actually do the acting work. He's like, I'm rich, I can just let this kind of coast on its own, and I still get some face time.
That said, he does, like Tyler was saying, he does still like try to do some serious acting in other movies, but like in his comedies, he's very much just like phoning it in. So the question is, like, what the fuck are you gonna do with Happy Gilmore 2? Like, the first movie was not like a plot that demanded an answer. So like, either we're just gonna set up some shit that doesn't matter, or it's gonna be about someone unrelated to Happy.
Let me tell you where this came from. Years and years ago, when Happy Gilmore was like the biggest thing ever, they must have written a rough cut of a script for a sequel, and they were like, nah, we don't need to make this. And now Adam Sandler is in this deal with Netflix that's just apparently printing money for both of them. So they're like, oh shit, what can we do with Adam Sandler to pull out more dollars without much work? Oh, Happy Gilmore, people still love that.
I'm wondering if Happy Madison Productions is just really good at low budget movies. Like, they end up looking like the same quality we get from shitty comedy movies now, but like shoestring budget, it's just Adam Sandler, a camera, and his house, and that's it. That's the production budget.
It's possible. That probably is. I mean, that's like, if you look at all their like Happy Madison production shit, like it really is low budget. Like there's not like much shit going on.
There's never like crazy sets they're working with. It's always just like, we rented out an office for this. Or like they shoot at a Subway in Happy Gilmore 1. We shoot at just a random golf course. So like,
go ahead.
Go ahead. All right. At the end of the day, I'm going to watch this because it's on Netflix. I don't have to pay any additional money. But I'm genuinely curious, how bad is this going to be?
That's what I just don't like. I'm not saying I'll never watch this, but like the original is just so. We were just talking about Red versus Blue. Like the original is so funny and so quotable. Oh my god, you guys have heard me so many times. Are you too good for your home? Answer me, like, or just tap it in. Just tap
Shoot him again.
Shoot him again. Oh my god, like it's such a. There's so many quotable lines, and it's just so fun. Everyone knows. Let me put it this way. Few sports movies have a thing that you could go to any golf course, any in the world, and you could make the joke and people would know what you're talking about. Like of the running up and doing the big hit.
That or even just the phrase "it's all in the hips" is like iconic
all of those,
to the sport
all
now.
of those. Like it's so tied to it. It's so part of it. We'll see. I don't know what the point of this is. Maybe it's Happy is you know what this movie probably is? It's probably Happy doing Chubbs' job.
But Happy's a
training.
There's no way he plays. Oh my god. It's Cobra Kai. It's the two people from the first movie come back and they are teaching proteges who fight against each other.
Did you look it up? Is that what the deal is?
No, I'm just guessing.
I haven't. That's what it's gonna be.
I haven't found.
I remember hearing the actor for Shooter McGavin, and it was like, "Yeah, I'm all for it."
Exactly.
So maybe.
I just cracked the code. No more Bob Barker though to punch in the face. Or maybe wait, no, he's still alive, isn't he?
No, Bob Barker's dead.
He did pass away. Okay.
Yeah, he went It was it wasn't that long ago.
I was gonna say it was only 6 months ago. He was 99 years old.
Damn,
they just missed him. Yeah, wow, it's wild that that's getting a sequel, but we'll see. Like you said,
he was like 3 months to a 100.
Honestly, though, like I would like to think that I'll have canceled Netflix by then. And have moved on to sailing the seas.
Yeah, but speaking of cancellations.
Yeah, but I was gonna segue is okay. Well, that's enough good, potentially happy thoughts. Let's go back to the sad stuff.
Yeah, that's right. It's time to revive a long dead section of the podcast where we just talk about Overdank. Which really isn't that dank anymore. It's just Overwatch 2. So Blizzard in hot water this week, in addition to updating their EULA that says you can't form class action lawsuits against them anymore.
Oh my god.
They also leaked that PVE development for Overwatch 2 has been canceled. So for anyone who remembers, the point of Overwatch 2 was we're getting a PVE focus. And then a year ago, they told us, hey, we significantly had to reduce the vision of the PVE focus. So they released 3 missions and say, we're going to build on this. Now they've effectively said, that's it. That's it. The entire point of Overwatch 2, we've canceled it. Welcome to the Battle Pass.
Face.
That's it. That's all this was. It was a rebalance patch and a new monetization model. We're never getting anything that was promised.
It was me, corporate greed all along.
Big fucking shocker.
The worst part of all of this is like Overwatch is now stuck because there's no PvE to build this story, and they haven't pushed the story forward for the last it's 2024 now. For the last 8 years since Overwatch came out, we've been stuck at this point in time where the new Overwatch is forming to take down this vague threat that's supposed to be the threat in the PvE campaign, and now that's canceled. That's it. That the whole plot has been getting ready to start the plot. That's not going to happen. This is the company that brought us the Warcraft universe.
Yeah, it's also Freeman. We all know that Overwatch just is floated by the porn industry at this point. Like,
it really is.
Yo, for real though, why'd you have to say the quiet part out loud though?
Because we were all thinking it. So like, why not just say it out loud?
Because why not?
I think it was speculation, but apparently the K-pop collab skins was like the most money Blizzard has made on Overwatch in forever.
Wow, it's almost like Riot learned that like 10 years ago when KDA fucking came out. Like, big fucking shock. Why do you think Riot now launches a new band every year at Worlds? Because they print money when they do the music video and make the skins with it.
I feel like an idiot. It was last week when I understood what the name KDA meant. I feel like an idiot.
Are you serious, bro?
Yeah.
Do you even video game?
No, I don't. I play JRPGs.
Oh, okay.
Freeman, wait. No. He played a lot of. You played a mountain of Counter-Strike.
CS:GO.
Yeah,
you play so much Counter-Strike. What?
No one ever gives a shit about assists. It's KD.
Oh my god.
You think people gave a shit about in Halo assists? No. Actually, I'm just kidding. We'd get pissed as fuck. I'd be like, "The fuck you mean I got only 5 kills and 15 assists? Like, what is this?"
Yeah, that's not because you care about assists. That's because that's how many kills you were robbed of.
Yeah. Literally, I never hear the phrase said out loud, KDA, because I was watching some random YouTube video and someone said KDA, and I'm like, wait a minute. Like, all it took was 1 second of hearing it out loud, and I realized I just haven't heard the acronym said at me.
Freeman, did you know that the other League of Legends band, Pentakill, is based on getting 5 kills?
I'm gonna fucking kill you, Tim. Yes,
Get fucked, loser!
God, I hate you guys. It's like
Oh, damn. That was actually pretty funny.
All right,
I'm sorry, not sorry.
All right, let me talk about some weeboo garbage real quick, and then we'll get back to the Westaboo shit.
Come on, not more sad news.
How is this not in the...
Oh, I know, we're not in the weeb yet.
It's not in the weeb shit, just because I don't... You know what? Realistically, this should have been in the weeb shit. This is a video game. It's not anime news, but Tsukihime, the arguably biggest non-Fate Stay Night visual novel, is finally getting released in English for the first time in forever, June 27th. And it's not a coincidence that they're timing this out with, I guess, like the week that Fate Grand Order is going to surprise announce that the character from Tsukihime is in it. But this is super cool. I really hope it sells well, because then they might actually bring over more than just the one Fate Stay Night visual novel. Apparently, there's a lot of visual novel gamers on PS5. Unfortunately, these losers are just not releasing anything on PC. I don't know why they're convinced that people who play PC games don't like to read.
It's not that. It's because Japan doesn't have PCs.
I'm honestly kind of surprised that I feel like visual novels. I mean, I don't know. I don't play visual novels regularly. I've only played like a few. But and when I mean a few, I mean nothing really outside of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney.
Yeah.
I can't imagine playing like a visual novel that's not like readily mobilely like accessible.
Yeah.
Like, or my computer. I feel like a computer, like somewhere, like I feel like visual novels are more of like a cozy thing than like I sit on. I mean, not saying console games. I think you know what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
I feel like it's a closer experience.
I prefer playing this on the handheld. Is a weird way to put it. Like, because I started playing Fate Stay Night, the original, on PC, and I was like, I really wish I could just sit on my couch and play this, but not be glued to my couch.
Yeah.
But hold on, I'm looking at what it's coming out for, because they're just assholes about not releasing anything on PC. But truth be told, despite how much I'm hyping up the Fate Stay Night release, I'm probably not going to play the Fate Stay Night release, because like this is an ancient ass visual novel that hasn't been updated. I'm actually excited for the Tsukihime English one, because it's a remake that came out like a brand new visual novel remake, came out like 2019 or something, not that far off. It is beautiful, despite just being text on a screen. Like the effects and all the character animations in the back of what would normally be a very static genre. I've seen footage of it. It looks really cool. So I'm actually interested in this one. If I were to play any visual novel, it's going to be Tsukihime before it's Fate Stay Night. But there's no fucking way I'm playing on June 27th. I'm not done with 7 Remake, and I got to play Persona 3 this year before inevitably returning to Witcher 3.
Bro, my dumbass picked up another RPG, so like I'm with you. It's bad, dude. Legend of Dragoon. Yeah, I know, listeners. I'm playing yet another old ass game. But when I tell you that Legend,
you beat 6, right?
Yeah, I beat 6. Yeah,
okay, good. Just make sure you're not like layering them on.
Yeah, I thought I think I talked about it a few episodes ago, actually.
I couldn't remember if you had finished it or just talking about playing it.
Oh yeah, no, I finished it. I definitely said I highly recommend 6, by the way. Like, yeah, I could go into it again. Yeah, listen to my old thing again. But yeah, like for the listeners that are curious, it's so good. Yo, you want to hear some wild shit, Freeman? A buddy of mine just started playing Chrono Trigger.
Nice.
And he's playing it on turn-based mode.
Why? That's lame.
Yeah, it's almost like
This game was made at the peak of Square doing ATB.
Yeah, and you know what? I even said to him, I was like, "You're doing yourself a disservice because the game was actually, unlike most of the other games that use ATB, this game actually uses it the best way, like the best way possible." He's like, "I feel like I'm too pressured." I was like, and then we have another friend in the friend group who bought it for him. He's like, "Can I return this game, please?" I was like, "Damn, bro." But yeah. No, Final Fantasy VI is a banger. Legend of Dragoon so far, banger. Like, I didn't know that this was the same studio that, same Japan studio, not the same like guy, of course, but he did like, this studio did like Ico, Shadow of the Colossus, like those games.
Interesting.
Yeah, this was like one of their first games for the
I'm looking at the
studio.
timeline of their releases. Wait, it literally just called Japan Studio.
Yeah, well, it's a branch of Sony Entertainment,
That would explain
Sony Computer Entertainment.
That would explain the triangle, circle, X, and square in their logo.
Yes. And it's cool because it's like, yo, if you like um RPGs that have like it's like Super Mario RPG or any of those RPGs that have like the active like if you want to do more damage or like actually win your fights, you have to like time your
Button
attacks.
presses.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. And the story so far is pretty cool too. And I'm playing it on my PlayStation 2 with my Sony Trinitron and it's peak fucking 90s.
Hell yeah.
Or really, it came out what, the year 2000? Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
I'll stop
I have
talking
the
about.
wiki open now about it because I'm looking at all the stuff they've worked on.
Yeah. I'll
It's
stop
very
talking about my old
interesting.
ass
It was
games
a very
though.
interesting development team strategy they picked for this particular studio.
Yes. I looked up a little bit into it. It's actually really fun. On the back of the box, I have the crystal box or whatever the fuck you want to call it. The original PlayStation box
CD
for it.
case. Let's just call it what it is.
Yeah, the CD case, because that is what we called it back in the day. Anyway, on the back it boasted 3 years of development, and with over 100 people on staff, I was like, damn, that's like pretty standard for a AAA title nowadays. It's true though. Like if you think about it, like games like earlier on, it was like started out as like niche projects where like only one guy would make it, and then like I think Final Fantasy VII had like a dev team of like less than 50 people on it.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's hard to conceptualize it when you have games like fucking Grand Theft Auto that. Well, oh, that's another piece of news too. Grand
Yeah,
Theft
we
Auto,
forgot
I think,
the announcement about what it will and won't run on.
yeah, what it will and won't run on. The delay. It's gonna be delayed, I think, again, or not again, but just in general, I guess.
So it's launching on the PlayStation 6, right?
Yeah, pretty much. At this fucking rate. I mean, I honestly don't understand the hype. Like, I get like it's so good, but I don't understand like the. It's
So
like
I think
crazy hype for this though.
so. Like we jump around from game to game, but I know there are a lot of gamers who like they just pick a game and that's it. Like in the same way that someone's like, I just play the latest Call of Duty. There's that kid who's just I play GTA 5 online, and he has been doing it for the last 10 years. It's his game. This is like what Counter-Strike Source was for people in our demographic. GTA 5 is them. So hearing, unlike with Counter-Strike being like, oh, we're gonna release Go, surprise. Now it's like, hey, here's some new shit to get hyped up about because you've been playing the same game over and over again, and you actually do want to play a new game.
Mildly surprised. I thought they were just gonna be like rocking Grand Theft Auto online for so long.
I mean, it was making them money.
I am still pissed that they never came out with DLC for GTA 5. Like story DLC, they ended up rolling it all into their online, and I was like, I fucking hate you, Rockstar. Like,
yeah, that's annoying.
Pieces of shit. And because they had good stuff, like their DLC for GTA 4 and Red Dead Redemption, phenomenal. Actually, I even thought that the DLC for those games were better than their mainline game. Like, I hated GTA 4, but I loved Ballad of Gay Tony, and I didn't give Red Dead Redemption 1 a shot. But my friend's like, yo, you like zombies, you should just play Undead Nightmare. And I was like, yo, Undead Nightmare fucking slaps. It's so good. Shit, I kind of want to play it now.
Hell yeah. I don't know. I've been seeing everyone quote some stuff out of context where they were saying that even the base model PS5 is probably only going to run the game at like 30 frames per second. Because they're most likely targeting like the top-end PC crowd. Which led everyone to be like, well, what about the PS5 Pro that's rumored? At the end of the day, whatever. 30 frames per second is good enough. I'm just concerned this game is just not going to meet the hype at all. Like, everyone thinks it's going to be the second coming of video games. In reality, it's just Grand Theft Auto 6.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm just like, yo, is it really going to? Probably not. I mean, GTA 5 was pretty good.
Yeah, but I feel like everyone's got their expectations set so high. Like, maybe
you think it's gonna be Cyberpunk again?
Kind of. Like, I'm hoping that maybe Starfield tempered everyone's expectations so that when Skyrim 2 comes out.
Nope. I'm gonna tell you what. Because
people are still gonna shit on it.
They're still going to. They're still gonna get their My thing with Starfield, though, right? Like, here's my thing with Starfield, and I think I even said this before, is that I think people were expecting a completely different game in Starfield, and they got upset when it turned out that it was just Skyrim in space. When I'm like, oh, I'm really not surprised. Really, my only gripe about... Well, I have a few gripes, but my only gripe about Starfield really is the fact that there's no real incentive to, like, free roam anymore. I think we talked about that, like... But that's about it.
Yeah.
We can move on.
Yeah,
all right.
I was
about to say, we're really, really, really off the rails.
We
a random games discussion.
Put it in the notes, that way people are like, damn, they talked about Tsukihime for like 20 minutes here.
Yeah, we did. What are you talking about? It's all connected.
All right, let's talk about the final disappointment. Goodness, I don't know how I want to treat this as a
long time ago in a galaxy far away, there was a franchise that used to make good video games and good things, and then seems to have stopped. Oh, look.
Yo, they used to make what? They used to make a... That's the thing, right? I thought... Right? Like, because when I'm watching your Let's Play, right? I was like, damn. Like, this is actually, for the time, a really good fucking... I'm talking about Jedi Academy, everybody.
Yep.
I'm listening...
Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm listening or, like, kind of watching Tim's Let's Play for Jedi Academy. And I'm just like, yo, you could do so much shit in this game.
Yep.
This game is fucking cool. Yep. And I'm like, yo, we only get like one good Star Wars game now. And that's
Tyler, we have 5 years of the podcast of me saying this. It's so this is like
kind of true.
This is like watching you realize the truth I've been saying the whole time. Like, this is
it's true.
This is what I mean when I say that chart. It was like 4 years ago. It was like the EA chart of 3 games coming out in 4 years of EA owning Star Wars, and the like 3 dozen that came out in the decade before. Like, we used to, and Jedi Academy is nothing insanely incredible, but it's a really fun game. It's a good couple hours. It has cool gameplay, and it wasn't the only Star Wars game that came out in that fucking calendar year.
Yeah, like you had some really good ones, and like now we have the Survivor Fallen Order series, which like I love, but man, that's like the only game, right?
That's like, you know what, Tyler? Would you, let's say you had to make a deal. You didn't get any more Survivor games, but instead of one game that was millions of dollars, and how long was Survivor for you to beat? Like 20-ish?
It depends on how much you did. I would say, like, for the main story, it took me, like, close to, like, 10, 15 hours, maybe.
Okay, what if you had a couple games that you could do in, like... What if you had, like, 3 games come out in 2 years that were, like, 4 or 5 hour games?
I would take those, too.
Yeah. Like,
I would take those.
That was the amazing thing about the old Star Wars games, is they weren't the biggest, giantest, most expensive games in the universe, but they were just fun experiences that were in the world. Jedi Academy, Republic Commando, da-da-da-da-da. I've talked about all of them so much. And Battlefront. Battlefront is
especially
not...
Battlefront.
Battlefront,
to me.
You know what Battlefront isn't? A super polished, serious multiplayer shooter. It's just not. It's fun, dumb action. When you get to play as a Jedi and you would sprint across, Tyler, you remember how you would just clip into the air half the time because you'd hit the geometry and just like boing, and you just see Count Dooku bounce 20 feet into the air because whoops, he happened to be landing on a hillside. Like, it was just fun. You throw grenades and you ragdoll around, you launch missiles
really
everywhere.
was just one of those like really just dumb fun games.
And then EA goes and is like, we're going to remake it for modern consoles.
And you know what's too funny too? I almost even considered, I was like,
yep.
Something tells me I should wait on this one, and I'm glad I did.
I will tell you right now, just like with Helldivers, if you had bought this and you were like, Tim, get into Battlefront, let's play some Battlefront, I would have been like, fuck yeah, buy now, let's go.
Yeah, no, I'm glad I waited, because I was like, because I have fond memories. I'm like, yo, now that I have like a solid rig, I have like a good, because like back then, the most multiplayer I would do, I'm sure it went for like you too, Tim. It's like, oh, if a buddy comes over, right? And it's like, oh, we get to couch co-op, like,
just play local,
fight each other, right? But I'm like, yo, I could play with Tim. I could play with Frieren. Like, we can fucking fight each other. It'd be great.
I have so many, honestly, so obviously I haven't done any real YouTube videos in years, but years ago, when I would do streams occasionally, half of them were Battlefront 2 multiplayer because it still works, the original. I would be like, yo, anybody who wants to get on the Timpedia Discord, get in there, we'll play some Battlefront. I would consistently get like 5 to 10 people, and we would just run around. We would do the heroes versus villains mode on Tatooine, which was a blast.
Hell yeah.
Or we would just play, like, go into random maps and like, oops, let's either join different teams or do like, man, it would be so fun. I don't think we ever did it, but imagine setting up custom lobbies of like 10 people versus a full side of bots, and you just set the bots to hard and you just try to fight against this wave of bots, or like the Galactic Conquest stuff. Like some of the side missions and like the single player were kind of fun, or the story of the 501st was like shockingly remember that?
Honestly, I didn't even know that for a long time. I didn't realize until I got older. I was like, oh wait, Battlefront 2 has
yeah, but I
heard
it
was good though.
I did an LP on that too, where it was like,
oh yeah,
it's I think it's Tamura Morrison, or it's either him or the guy who always voiced like Django and stuff in video games, doing narration, and and there's like really like he talks about how somber the 501st were when they flew back to Coruscant before they attack on the Jedi Temple, and you lead the attack on the Jedi Temple. It's like it's cool stuff. It's fun. And then EA just, God, how is this so hard? This is what I mean when it's like, how is this so impossible to get right? Like,
yeah, I feel like this was like a slam dunk. All they really had to do.
The games work now. The originals work.
Yeah. And reviews that I saw were basically the people were just like, yeah, just go back to like the original ones that you have for PC and just do the mods.
And just play the Steam version now.
Yeah.
God, how is this possibly difficult?
Like, it wasn't like they just made bad changes for the remake. Like, it's just not a functioning game.
It's just broken. It's buggy.
Yeah, it's really
bad
just
connectivity,
broken.
Frame rate issues, like everything under the sun. And it's like, how is this physically possible?
When all they had to do was just touch it up and then just make the multiplayer more accessible for people to use.
They had to do nothing.
And they couldn't even do that.
Nothing.
Damn.
So yeah, fuck that.
The originals are $10 each. This thing is $35.01.
Yeah, it's supposed to be a
reviews 6,000, mostly negative. Oh, top review on Steam right now. It's honestly impressive that you can turn 10 gigabytes of games from 2004 and 2005 into 60 plus gigabytes.
Holy shit.
Yeah. That's wild.
Pathetic.
Is like I'm not playing devil's advocate, but are the graphics at least upscaled? Like, is that what's taking
Freeman,
up all
I'm
the
looking.
space?
If you go to Steam and look at the trailer, the graphics look maybe marginally improved. Maybe. I don't even know if you could say that this is definitively showing signs of improvement.
What the hell is all this resource bloat then?
Good fucking question. Like, I don't know. Like, this is so.
I also don't like the price of how they're like, haha, we're gonna make it 35.1 because get it 501st.
Oh my god.
But we couldn't sell these ancient games for $5, so we added a 3 at the beginning. Because
it's worth $5. Yeah, it's only worth $5.
Star Wars games since this one came out.
Yeah, it's
God.
It's upsetting.
Pathetic. Oh no, you know what it is? It's not EA. I'm sorry. I'm crediting the wrong people. It's Asper Media, the people who also gave up on the KOTOR remake because they couldn't figure out how to not fuck that up.
Damn.
Like I was saying, after what happened here, it's probably for the best that they're not the ones doing the KOTOR remake anymore.
Nope, these are the guys who are bad at everything.
Oof. 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 Oof.
Crazy frustrating. Can't believe this is the simplest layup possible.
I'm looking at the other stuff they did. They did Mafia 3. They did.
Anything else noteworthy?
But there's other. Oh, yeah, I don't know.
They have stuff like on their list, but I don't know how much they were like
involved in it.
Like they have Black Ops 3, Civilization 6.
Oh yeah, they definitely were the lead devs of Black Ops.
Yeah, like there's nothing. I guess they did. Oh, they did Force Unleashed. So they did some other stuff.
Oh my god.
What, the PC
They worked on
version?
Jedi Academy, Tim.
Oh shit.
Oh, good. So you're telling me this company existed 15 years ago? Oh no, Tyler, I'm sorry. Did they make the remaster of Jedi Academy for Switch that is terrible?
Oh, they might have. They might have.
You mean
did
all
that.
the Switch ports of all these games that they remember the KOTOR 2
Yeah.
remake for? Oh yeah, are we gonna bring that one up? The KOTOR 2 remake for Switch that was supposed to have the restored content mod built in, and then when it wasn't, they offered a refund, and by refund they meant you could have one $2 Star Wars game from the Switch store for free, which were also bad ports from them.
Awkward.
Sounds like an all-star studio.
Pathetic.
Yeah, but speaking of stuff that's pathetic.
Oh yeah, there's more to the Star Wars. No, there's more to the Star Wars
there
story.
Isn't. It's not. No, there's more.
The
that's
Acolyte
right.
trailer that we just watched.
Remember we watched the Acolyte trailer?
You're right.
The trailer was so nothing that Freeman already forgot we watched it. Like,
yeah, I forgot we were talking about this.
ago.
Everyone was super depressed. I'm like, all right, I'm waiting for my depressing joke transition. And damn, fired too early.
It's just all been depressing because we watched. So right before this, I hadn't even watched it, but we watched the Acolyte trailer. So the thing that I wanted to save as what I think is a pretty scathing comment. I think you could very easily take this trailer and take all of the audio out of it and splice any other Star Wars movie or product into footage into this trailer, and it would literally work just as well. It's so generic.
Yikes.
I think you could literally make a trailer at least for the first trilogy, if not the second trilogy, definitely the third trilogy, and probably some of the video games with just the audio for this trailer.
Yeah, they cut like every cool sounding line with no context provided into what anyone's talking about.
It makes it so
lame. It just sounds like random one-offs. I don't know. Go back and watch like the Star Wars Episode 1 trailer. It's not just a bunch of out of context lines. That trailer tells a story with just the audio in the trailer. And a lot of these new projects, they don't want to do any of that because there's no, how do I put it? There's not an easy way to put their plot into a trailer without ruining everything.
No, you know what it is? The trailers are not good these days. There's a reason I go out of my way to not watch trailers of things I want to watch. Like when I want to watch something, I don't want to see a trailer for it anymore. because trailers are just terrible. It's just the most done by numbers, put a piece of every single thing on screen, put some hype moment, and it's like I made a joke when we were watching the Acolyte trailer saying, "Oh, look, we can finally AI generate Star Wars shows now." But like the trailers, I mean, have been like that for years. I can't believe there isn't some movie studio that isn't making trailers just by feeding the movie into an AI, being like, "Okay, make a trailer for this." There's just no art to it at all.
I mean, that is what the writer's strike was about.
No, I know, and I'm not but I'm just saying, like, it feels like you could do that with trailers. It's so paint by numbers. It's not any kind of interesting thing anymore. And this Acolyte trailer did nothing to dissuade that whatsoever. Like, it's cool. Carrie-Anne Moss coming back, or like doing a role where she's a Jedi doing cool moves potentially. That's cool. She's always been cool since Matrix. But like,
I've seen a lot of Jedi all in the same room at the same time.
That and Freeman. That's why that shot was in the trailer. because they had the hook.
Watch this.
They knew that some people would be like, "Oh, look at all the lightsabers!" Oh my god! Like that's.
Damn, you don't have to talk down to me like that, but yes, that's exactly how I felt.
Damn,
Freeman, I'm not trying to hit you when you're already down from that comment earlier, but
Stop, I'm already dead.
Damn.
But yeah, this show looks like nothing. Like I really hate to have been down on Star Wars because Tyler, for like we were talking before the podcast about like how much Rosh is such a little bitch from Jedi Academy. Like, but you both are hearing me talk about this. Like, I still am invested. I still care enough to say, fuck you, Rosh. You're such a little baby.
Yeah.
I just don't care about, like, it's the classic, like, I'm not mad, I'm disappointed kind of thing. Or, like, just losing all excitement. Like, nothing's more sad. Like, even Mark Rosewater says about Magic products, like, or anybody, like, you want to get some kind of emotional reaction. I just watched the Acolyte trailer, and I felt literally nothing. Like,
yeah, it's like, I hate using the phrase mid, but, like, that's how it felt. Like, there was just, like, nothing going on here. Like,
but I
was neither excited nor disappointed in it.
But here's the thing. I feel like mid kind of has this connotation of it being, like, it's impressive how middle it is. Like, no, it's not even impressive. It's just
overwhelmingly
dull.
Average.
It's just dull. It's like the color scheme of Xbox 360 games. Like, it's just boring. Like, why should I care about this? I don't know. Maybe we should just play Jedi Academy multiplayer. Because, that multiplayer also still works.
Really?
Yeah, we could absolutely. If you guys had Jedi Academy, we could literally go play multiplayer. I've done that on streams, too. Shit's great. The physics are so dumb. Tyler's seen the LP. Like, you can bounce on people's heads, and they fall over and jump around. Like, it's goofy as hell. It's great. But when you get those lightsaber clashes, and you're, like, mashing the button, trying to lean into it, oh, man.
How old is this game?
At least, oh, God, it's probably at least 15. Let me check. There's also a famous mod for this game called the Movie Duels mod. That's a multiplayer mod. 2003. Sorry, this game turned 20 last year.
Oh, man.
Jesus Christ. That's terrifying. Oh, God.
That's nah, man. Don't say that.
But here's the thing. We're still talking about it 21 years later. We could talk about almost any old Star Wars game like that. Does anyone talk about the EA Battlefront games at all? There's a reason the classic Battlefronts came out because no one gives a shit about the EA ones.
Still butthurt. They just released a whole game called Battlefront, even though there was already a game called Battlefront, and then they decided to remake Battlefront. The first Battlefront, not the second Battlefront. But not the second Battlefront, the second Battlefront, but not the second Battlefront 2.
Dude, so if you Google Jedi Academy...
My confusion.
If you Google Jedi Academy, there are people who, in the last year, have made videos reviewing and talking about Jedi Academy. 2020 run review, 2023 review. Is it good 20 years later? The answer is yes. Like, we're done. I'm done talking about Star Wars. Freeman,
we're done. I'm getting hot.
Just play the sound effect. Just play the play the word.
Just fucking play it.
Yeah, there you go. All right, let's talk about some anime shit. Let's start off.
Well, let's get
sad
depressed
and
again.
Hopefully get happier. So I believe it was during our last recording week when Akira Toriyama had passed away, or at least that they had announced he had passed away the week prior. Japan's super big on not announcing deaths immediately and just letting the family pick when the announcement's going to go live. So we found out like a week after the incident. I believe it was like a brain hemorrhage. I forget what the actual cause of death was, but super untimely. A lot of memes about the Mexican cartel shutting down in honor of Goku.
Didn't they also announce like a day later or something, like within a week, that Super was going on indefinite hiatus?
The thing is, the Super manga is handled by a separate artist.
No, I know it is. I'm not saying he was doing it, but like the timing was just kind of surprising.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All of this happening while Akira Toriyama had authored the setup for the new Dragon Ball series, Dragon Ball Daimyo. And it's very odd seeing I get it. I'm a fan of Dragon Ball Z. I respect Akira Toriyama's work. I despise Dragon Ball Super, and I see a lot of people talking about how they think Dragon Ball Daimyo looks like shit. But because Akira Toriyama passed away, I'm gonna watch it, and I'm just like it's sad that he died, but like it's not gonna make this weird show better, unfortunately.
No, but I don't think we can to get back to.
Yeah, sorry to get back on topic on this.
I don't think we can overstate how much of an impact this guy has had on the whole world, frankly. Like we were talking about it back when it happened, but like Goku is in the Macy's Day Parade, even though the announcers get his name wrong every single year.
Super Saiyan Blue.
Yeah,
God,
right?
Super Saiyan Goku, Son Goku. Like it's dumb.
Oh, look at that! Look
wrong.
at that spiky hair go.
But he's still in it. Like, or how many? I remember the videos on Reddit of, about how in Latin America and especially in Mexico, like when episodes of Super came out, like there were watch parties in like public places sponsored by the government. And Japan
it wasn't really government. Okay, yeah, like the mayors were throwing it in each town, but yeah.
But then Japan was like, "Hey, please stop this." And Mexico was like, "No."
There's nothing we can do. They're going to watch this. He's like Superman to them.
It's
I don't know why. Well, no, you know what? I do know why. Because
you want to be like Goku.
Well, it's one of like the only like cartoons a lot of Spanish-speaking countries got.
It was like between that and Saint Seiya.
And Saint Seiya. Yeah,
that was the other big one. But yeah, I mean, it was kind of the same here. Like, it's different for the current generations. But like for me, like when someone says anime, the thing that jumps to mind is it's Goku and Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Like that's boys anime, girls anime. That's what it felt like at age 10. Like Goku's just the icon.
No, that's I would agree with that.
He was just the fucking guy, you know?
Seriously, he's the number one guy.
I do gotta say though, there's so much art came out of this. Like not only people just like making tribute art, but also just like manga authors drawing their characters or like drawing Dragon Ball characters in their style and then drawing their characters in their like fake Akira Toriyama style. Mm-hmm. So much art came out of this. It was insane.
I mean, it's pretty incredible to think, or not even incredible, but like the amount of big name artists, like you think about, or even you talk about like Freeman, the big three.
Yeah,
like
all of them deeply influenced by this.
Like every shonen that has or probably will ever exist can directly trace massive influence to Dragon Ball. Like you can't really, it's hard to overstate how much influence Toriyama and Dragon Ball have had on culture around the world, period. Like the character design look of Goku and like the spiky hair, or hell, you think about I mean in Japan, obviously Dragon Ball's big, but like Dragon Quest, like isn't Dragon Quest the game series?
Dragon Quest is massive in Japan, not so much the rest of the world. But
no, I know, but like Dragon Quest is the game series where you have to shut down, or they couldn't do releases during the week because people would call off. Too many people called off work or something.
Yeah,
like and who did original character designs? Toriyama did. Like, it's mostly Dragon Ball, but the guy affected a lot of things and like worked on a lot of things, and it's just incredible to. It's weird to think that he's gone already, or how long Dragon Ball's been around. Like, we already it's not that, the up-and-comers are going to be influenced by his stuff. Like, no, people who are doing the industry right now, who are making things right now, are wildly influenced by this guy. It's just wild.
The real question I have is, and this is like a long-term question, is does Dragon Ball, the franchise, have the long-term staying power? Like 30 years from now, are people still going to be talking about it?
I think it's going to be like Red versus Blue for me and Tyler. I think everyone remembers when Goku fought Frieza. I think everyone remembers the Cell games. Everyone remembers Boo even. Some people remember GT. Super is kind of hype because of like Ultra Instinct and everything like that, but and the God stuff, but I don't think as many people in the world know who Jiren is as they know who Frieza is.
Definitely.
Let's put it that
way. Especially because Frieza fought Jiren.
Oh my god. See, I forgot. That's why I shut up. Oh god.
Either you die a villain or live long enough to see yourself turn into a Dragon Ball protagonist.
Oh my god. All right, Freeman, what's this other news? Jesus.
All right, so Anime Japan was last week. As expected, we got a lot of good announcement dates. The first one, we were waiting on this one because we knew ReZero Season 3 was supposed to be some point this year. They finally confirmed it's coming out in October. We got our first trailer, which, in an interesting choice, has no dialogue. It's just character animation, so we see who's in the season, who's coming back, who's still alive, and who the new characters coming are. And, like, maybe one or two key action sequences. Overall, looks super cool. October needs to come faster. Someone did the math, and they said it's 4 months and a quarter between each of the ReZero seasons, meaning that the next season won't be until like January 2029 or some nonsense. So they need to speed the shit up. I need more of this. And then Oshinoko. Oshinoko got confirmed for summer. This one is a little more problematic, just because the studio working on Oshinoko completely failed to meet the release date for a show that they were supposed to start in 2 weeks called, I forget what her name is. I forget what her name is, but so-and-so hides her feelings in Russian or something. And it's one of these, like, guy meets girl in a high school, but she's shy and speaks Russian. That's the entire gimmick of it. They missed the deadline, so they're still working on animating it, and it's going to come out in the summer, but it's the same season that Oshinoko is airing. So you have to ask, like, is it a separate team? Is it going to impact Oshinoko because they may run into production issues? I don't know. Just don't give me a botch season 2, please. This shit was good. And then on the news of botched season 2s, I don't know why this is happening, but Sword Art Online Gun Game, the spinoff about the tiny pink girl with the P90, that show that had a really cool one-season run that kind of wrapped up everything it set up. For some reason, it's getting a season 2 and it's coming out next year.
What the fuck?
All announced this weekend.
Okay.
I'll probably watch it. I honestly just, these one-off gamer shows are kind of cool. I don't need this extended MMO nonsense. Just give me a contained season. I'll enjoy it. And speaking of contained seasons, Luigi's favorite, Spice and Wolf, done by Studio Passion. And I think they announced Kevin Penkin's doing the soundtrack for this one. But they confirmed it's 2 continuous cores, so we don't have like a break in the middle. It's straight up 26 episodes. It's going to be like 1 episode longer than the original Spice and Wolf season 1 and season 2 combined. So we still haven't been fully confirmed whether it's a remake. They're going to redo that whole story, or we're just going to pick up where they left off. But if they do remake it, this will most likely be like the definitive way to watch Spice and Wolf, because it's just going to cover that same stuff from season 1, 2 without the stuff they had to cut out. So super excited about that, and I think that one is airing next season, I think, in a couple weeks, maybe. I don't know, don't quote me. And then the last one is that Netflix announced that they're going to stream Boy and the Heron, which the only reason I find this interesting is because I think Max owns the rights to all the other Ghibli movies.
I was going to say, isn't this everywhere except the U.S. and Japan? Because I thought I remember seeing this headline.
This was also U.S. Or was this just not U.S.?
I think it was everywhere except Japan.
Damn, did I spread misinformation?
Freeman, The Boy and the Heron will be available on Netflix in more regions beyond the U.S. and Japan.
Oh, damn, that's mega lame. I completely misreported the news.
Wait, hold on. Will now be available on Netflix in areas beyond the U.S. and Japan, but does that mean that the U.S. is getting it, or is it... I would have just assumed it's not... Max has secured the streaming rights.
Max inside the U.S. Never mind.
Fucking
I thought this was some upset thing where Netflix was stealing a new movie from Max.
No, it was HBO being like, we don't feel like targeting anyone outside the U.S. for a couple bucks that we don't feel like we're going to... So we'll let Netflix do the work and earn the money.
Huh.
Damn. I was ready for a fight, and there's nothing here. All right, whatever.
I mean, it's cool.
The U.S. and for some reason listen to this podcast, you can watch on...
Oh, God, Freeman,
Netflix,
you destroyed the watched and played barrier.
Oh, no, I returned it. But yeah, that was surprisingly it for the Weeb shit. We were expecting a Blue Lock announcement. We got the most, like, nothing burger announcement I've ever seen. So, Tim, you know how at the end of every Blue Lock episode...
That episode Nagi, you said.
So we already knew about episode Nagi.
Oh, well.
We were waiting to see what else are they going to announce. And, like, you know how at the end of each episode they have that little comedy bit where it's just, like, an extra... I think it's called, like, Blue Lock Additional Time.
Yeah, it's just like Shangri-La's mini.
Yeah, just SFL mini. They announced that when the movie goes to streaming or home release, there's going to be, like, 4 mini
oh my God.
extra time bits at the end of the movie. And it's like, all right, great, thanks. I didn't want this.
Acting like that's a bullet. Acting like that's something that we care about. Like, that's like a Marvel movie saying, hey, guys, there's a post-credit scene, by the way. Like, it's not a selling point.
They put a character on the main poster of the event to announce this shit. I can't believe it.
Well,
disappointment.
Speaking of anime and everything else, why don't we do our watched and played? Because there's a bunch in here, and a bunch of this is going to be worth talking about, and we're already an hour in, so we got to move.
Yeah. I forgot to talk about this. I don't even know if you guys... I know you guys like saw it probably, or not watched it. The Avatar, The Last Airbender live action that came out on Netflix.
Definitely know that it came out. Have not watched a second of it.
Yeah. My buddy Sasha watched it. He said it was amazing, but he also likes every live action adaptation of everything ever made, so I don't really trust his opinion on it.
That was the first more than just meh review I have gotten so far.
Yeah, that's the most I had heard, really.
Yeah, like, Michelle and I watched it, and we're like, this isn't great, but it's not bad. Like, it is literally the definition of mid, and everyone I have talked to agrees. And that the only thing in the show that I thought was like, yo, this guy is really good. The guy who played Sokka, I think the writing for him and the actor who played him really brought it home. But I feel like it's also a very interesting thing to pick out from everything else they did. I think the bending looks pretty good, actually, for what it is. My biggest flaw is the costumes. They look like
they
ass.
Look goofy, or they're
so vibrant. Well, that's the thing. So they're too accurate. Like,
to the point where it looks unreasonable to have in real life.
Yeah, like literally, like they took everybody's hairstyle and beard combo and like,
oh boy,
all that, and it just looks super goofy. Yeah, it's not good. They also changed a lot about the story. Like, I don't really give a shit too much. Michelle does, and other people do, but I was like, as long as they keep the same rules, I really don't care. Like, it's fine. Unlike Halo, which, Tim, I gotta say, sorry, I said I wasn't going to.
You watched season 2?
Michelle wants to watch season 2.
That's fine.
So we're watching season 2 of Halo 2. Like that. At least it's not as bad as season 1. It's actually gotten better, but I still don't recommend it, though. I think it's actually funny. I'll go on a quick tangent about Halo because we're not done yet. We have to watch the last episode. It's better. It's paced much better, but man, fuck the universe rules for Halo. Like, they kill Johnson. Yeah. Or not, they don't kill Johnson, sorry. Oh my god, they kill Keyes already. Before they even left for Reach. And I'm like, what?
Like, they're just doing their own original timeline. They're not even
man.
Hey,
they're just doing their own
thing. More power to them to be like, you know what? We're never going to capture the story, so we're just going to do whatever the fuck we want.
At this point, and like at that point, I started like telling Michelle like just like spoilers about the games because Arbiter shows up right already before the rings show, and I'm like, wait, is this Arbiter? And then they reference him as the Arbiter because he brands himself, and I was like, wait a minute, this can't be the Arbiter already. And lo and behold, it was, and I'm like, wow, they're doing things very different. I was like, I don't agree with this. And she's like, why don't you agree with it? I'm like, well, the reason why he gets the mark of shame is because he let the halo fall to the humans. Like, that's why he's shamed. I was like, it's much better than this. I like just gesture at the fucking screen. Which I won't get into. If people want to watch the show, they can watch the show. Like, some of the action scenes are still are actually pretty good. But yeah, I don't really co-sign this too much. Also, they did some things with the Spartan 3s that kind of make no sense.
Oh, boy.
Like, they made the Spartan 3s volunteers, because she's like, wait, I thought you said the Spartan 4s were volunteers. I'm like, because the Spartan 4s were the volunteers. Like,
yeah,
the Spartan 3s were the wide pool, not like, the not so good, Spartan 2s, like, but they made the Spartan 3s like the volunteers instead.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, the whole point is to like about these Spartan 3s is that they're supposed to be Spartan 2s, just not as good. Like, they're good, just nowhere near as good as a Spartan 2.
Wait, in the you're saying in the show, or you're saying in
the books?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they took from the wider gene pool than the Spartan 2s. Because that's what they talked about in Ghost, because what's his face shows up. They like kind of like compartmentalize and like shoehorn in Ghost of Onyx, like the Ghost of Onyx storyline, sort of. Like I said, but they changed the whole thing. It's weird. It's weird.
I mean, honestly, more power to them if they want to do their own thing. It makes me even less interested in watching it.
Fair. Go on, but doubling back real quick. Yeah, I was like, I won't go into that. I'll probably give like a quick like overall, like, yeah, it was like overall good or bad, like when I finish the last episode, but it'll just be like an offhanded mention, and I won't go into super detail. But I rewatched a few things recently. Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. I told Michelle, I was like, yo, let's watch all of the Star Wars movies.
Wild.
No, I mean all of them. I mean all the good ones.
But like somehow not Palpatine returning.
I have no clue what you're even talking about, my guy. Palpatine is dead. Vader threw his ass over the railing, and that was it. Yeah, like that's the last we ever saw of him. But yeah, I'm like, damn, Qui-Gon Jinn's a bitch, man.
No.
He's such a fucking ass. Tell me he's not, Tim.
I'm not gonna try to.
I was gonna say, because I'm like, yo, this man legit just cheated to get this small boy, and then he brings him back, and they're like, yo, Qui-Gon, you can't just keep bringing randos around here. Yo, but he's the chosen one, though. He's like, oh, not this Jesus shit again. Like, and then Yoda's like, look. He's got mad fear in him, and this motherfucker's too old to train. He's like, nah, it's still okay, though. Trust me. And then he got. Still a good movie, though.
Yeah.
So we should have listened to Master Yoda is the moral of the prequel trilogy.
Actually, no, I disagree. I think after I watched Clone Wars, I think all of it's Yoda's fucking fault.
I mean, you're not entirely wrong.
I think that Yoda is a warmongering piece of shit with a Napoleon complex. Because, like, we didn't talk about this, right? But Michelle and I were talking about it. She's like, look at it. Like, look at Yoda's line. Count Dooku, right? Look what happened to him. And, like, was Qui-Gon under Yoda, right?
No, Dooku was
under Yoda.
Apprentice. Qui-Gon
Yeah.
was Dooku's apprentice.
Oh, right. Qui-Gon was Dooku's apprentice. So he wasn't bad, but he definitely made poor life decisions. Right? And then you got fucking Vader, which goes without saying. And then you have Luke, right, who's a direct trainee from Yoda. Who look what happens if we really want to reference this last trilogy. He almost kills his fucking nephew because he got a bad fucking dream. Like, come on. The Yoda line is just shit. The only one who came out of it was like Obi-Wan, who was honestly like the poor innocent bystander in all of this. He got mustered all this stuff from Qui-Gon. He's like a dad to me. I'm just gonna take care of like my brother, right? And it's just a bad fucking time. Like, I feel bad for Obi-Wan. It's all Yoda's fault. Yoda a bitch.
Damn.
There. I said it. He a bitch.
Oof.
I watched Saving Private Ryan while I was at work, but like like this day. Yeah, I don't know what it was, like, because I usually throw up movies like just in the background, right? Like while like I'm working or whatever, like on YouTube, like anything free on YouTube, I'll just put it on and it just runs in the background while I'm doing shit. Like I had Tomb Raider on today. I had no idea. I never saw those movies. Didn't know Daniel Craig was in it.
Oh snap! I didn't know that either.
Yeah, I looked up. I was like, wait a second, is that Daniel Craig? What the fuck? I was like, I see why they wanted him to do James Bond, I guess, because he was in somewhat a similar role. But I was like, yo, I don't know what it was, but like watching Saving Private Ryan this time just like hit me different. And I was like, wow, this is a horrific fucking movie. And I don't know what it was, but like what made me think that this time, because I've watched this movie like multiple times before, like when it was on TV and like in earnest the first time I ever watched it.
Mm-hmm.
But I was like, damn, this movie's fucked up. It's good. Anyone who hasn't seen it for some reason needs to see it. Is that on your poster, Tim?
Probably. I think so.
And when's the last time you looked at that poster?
It's been a minute.
Yeah, see, you should have. Saving Private Ryan's. I'm sure you've seen it, right?
Oh yeah, years ago.
Yeah, I feel like this is a stupid question. Yeah, man. Have you seen it, Friedman?
I've only seen the opening scene.
I mean, that's a really good scene. And when I mean really good scene, I mean Jesus Christ, it's fucked up. But like, the rest of the movie's really good.
I know. I do want to watch it at some point.
Yep.
Yeah. If I didn't watch it so soon, I'd be like, yo, let's watch Saving Private Ryan right now.
Yeah, gotta let it simmer for a bit before you crack it open again.
Yeah. Killers of the Flower Moon. I watched that monster of a movie.
What genre is this?
Yeah.
Is that what you just said?
Sad.
Sad. It is sad, dude. It's sad. I'm like, whoa. I didn't even know what it was really about, but really, it's actually really fucked. It's a fucked up movie. Basically about like kind of like a gentrification ish of sorts, where like it's movies basically about how white people came into the Native American land, and it's like, oh, we can't like outright steal it from them because it's their land. Why don't we just assimilate with them, get them pregnant, kill them off systematically, and then we take over their land because our kids will be the sole inheritors. Like, that's what the movie's about. I'm like, wow. And apparently that's like a thing that actually happened. And I'm like, whoa, that's wild. The genre though, like a drama. Yeah, it's pretty much a drama. It was good, but man, it's one of those Scorsese movies that is like, it's long, and like if you are not a fan of slow burns, this is not the movie for you. You're not gonna survive.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah.
So I always ask this when it comes to like long movies. Do you think it could have been shortened, or you think it was fine at the length it was?
I think it could have been shortened. I definitely think it could have been shortened. I think Scorsese was just doing Scorsese things, and people can, yell at me all they want, like, oh, it needs to follow, because it's based off of like a book that was written by someone from the tribe, and I'm sure he didn't want to leave anything out and didn't want to leave out like, but really to get the message across, like he could have. I think personally, he could have cut out like 45 minutes of the movie and it would have been fine. Like to get the, because there's just so much of like Leo's character, just kind of like living life, going through the motions, and it's just like, oh yes, we all know that this is bad. Oh, blah 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 blah. Like I don't know.
Gotcha.
It, yeah, like a lot of middle. It's not like Wolf of Wall Street where it's like there was clearly a break though, where it's like, oh, it like Wolf of Wall Street, like, oh, it should have clearly ended at the boat, right?
Yeah.
But it
Yeah.
kept going. Like there's a part in the middle of Killers of the Flower Moon that like, okay, bits and pieces here could have been taken off to like shave off runtime.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but I think the ending was important though. I think the ending was good, but a lot of like in between stuff could have been cut for sure.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And then Freeman, I watched Poor Things.
All right, I'm curious about your thoughts on this because I saw it, I thought this was just a weird movie.
So I'm like half hour into the movie and I'm like, man, this movie like is weird. I'm like, it feels oddly familiar too. And I was like, and I was also curious because Emma Stone is naked in a lot of it, and they
Yeah.
also got Mark Ruffalo to be naked. I'm like, who the fuck is influential enough that they would get these two people to be full naked on screen? And I was like, oh, it's the guy. I was like, it's the same guy who did The Lobster and Killing of a Sacred Deer. And I'm like, what the I was like, okay, I wasn't surprised, let's just say. I was like, okay, this makes much more sense. That being said, I did like it. I thought it was interesting. Didn't realize that it was based off of a book. But I guess that's what most movies are, right?
A lot of times.
Yeah, I had no idea that this book even existed. I was like, what the fuck is this? But I thought it was good, but I told him, I was like, I think I even put like in the review that I put on Letterboxd, because I was like, yo, this is a movie that I like, but I would never recommend it to a particular person.
Yeah.
Like it's one of those weird movies. And I saw you
If
gave
you
it
ever
a
gonna
3.
recommend it, it's gotta be like, hey, do you want to watch a weird ass movie? Yeah, you can go watch this without me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what though? It's on the lower end of weird though. Like it's enough for me to call it weird, but it's not Enter the Void weird or Eraserhead weird.
Oh yeah. It's
Like
like
those are
it's
still,
weird enough for normal people to watch, but it's still weird.
yeah, like this is like just over Eyes Wide Shut kind of weird. I have different tiers of weird because I've seen a lot of weird movies. Like Enter the Void is like probably like that or Eraserhead is probably like the weirdest movies I've seen. Tim might have heard of Eraserhead.
I've heard of it, never watched it.
Yeah, that is a movie I wouldn't recommend so much.
Nope.
I wouldn't recommend that to anybody. Though I will say they nailed some of this. Like I don't know if it's animatronics or like some puppeteering, but like they did some weird black magic to fuck this baby up.
Good.
Like, dude, it was weird. Like, there's so like in Eraser, there's like this. Just to go on a quick tangent, there's like a weird like fucked up representation of this kid's baby, and like how he views his child as this like weird little monster. And I'm like, if they did something with it where it just looks super creepy that I haven't seen in like any other movie. It's like kind of impressive. Like nothing has skeeved me out this much about something like on screen. It's great. I love it. And then Enter the Void is just fucking weird. I just wouldn't even recommend that to anybody, honestly. uh, and we saw Dune Part 2. At least Tim and I did. I don't know if Freeman, if you did.
Dude, I've been trying to coordinate my coworkers. We just can't get a date going. So next week for sure, I'm seeing it.
Gotcha.
Next week for sure.
For sure. I think.
Tim and I gave it a 5 out of 5.
Sure did.
Is it
Classic.
worthy of all this praise it's getting?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can easily say that without even blinking yes.
I don't think I don't know how anyone would make a case that this is not just straight even better than the first one. So if you liked, I'll even just say that if you liked the first one and thought it was good, this one is just more better.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Like
Tim and I actually did like a whole discussion.
Yeah, when
with each
Frieren
other.
on Sunday, while I sat out of a game of Magic while the Ohio boys were here, and Tyler happened to show up during that time. We were just chilling downstairs while Henry was playing, and we just talked about the movie for like 20 minutes. It's not a perfect movie, but it gets a perfect 5 out of 5 because of how absolutely... This is one of those movies where it's literally like you cut out Denis Villeneuve's brain and just put it on screen. It's like you could see that a lot of people worked so hard on this shared vision and forced it to come out exactly how they wanted it to. Like it's one of those things that feels so meticulous. And is such a grand scale. It's like you feel the deliberate choice in every single thing. Tyler, I should send you the link. I watched, you know how like those big YouTube channels like Variety or Vanity Fair, they have like interviews with the people or like little 20-minute videos with like a director.
Oh,
they had
yeah.
Denis Villeneuve break down the first ride. And when he talks about how they made fake sand dunes because dunes don't naturally form to get the lighting they wanted, but he insisted on doing everything in the sand in real life, like in actually filming in like Abu Dhabi, like crazy. And he talks about like how they made the dune collapse for that shot. I know you could exactly understand, Tyler.
Yes.
Or like that whole scene after he falls when he's struggling. That's all a giant. Remember, like the elevator. I forget what they call it, but it's like the giant animatronic platforms that they make for movies. Famously, like the like the hallway scene that rotated in Inception.
Oh yeah.
Tyler, that whole scene is not CGI. It's a giant. Like that's real sand. There's fans blowing that sand in a stuntman's face. And he's literally standing on top of a giant scaly platform that's moving around. Like, and you see that, and it's like...
That's crazy. Yeah, so you can send me the link.
I'll send it to you after this. It's crazy how much thought went into doing this a good way. Like... And you feel that in the movie. Like, Friedman, Tyler, and I'm not going to go into details because obviously I don't want to spoil any of these scenes for you, but there are 2 scenes that still stick with me as, like, moments in the theater where I was like, whoa. This feels like there's a thing, there's some power at work here where there's, like, this is a powerful moment kind of thing.
Yes.
And this movie just feels the weight of the story it's trying to tell, and you can really feel like seeing it in theater is important, Friedman. I know you said you're working to see it next week. Like,
yeah, I don't want to wait for a home release for this.
I'm sad that Val and I didn't get to see it in the Dolby Theater for the real sound, but we saw it in IMAX, so it was still very big, obviously.
Dude,
you just gotta see it in theaters.
So quick comment on that.
Okay.
We saw it in regular IMAX too. But holy shit, they crank that fucking speaker up
they do.
Loud.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Michelle had to plug her ears a few times.
I didn't have to get to that point, but, dude, I was just too in it, I think. Like
I was in it, but I saw Michelle. She was having a rough time.
See, I'm surprised because Val has had times like that. Like, there was a scene... I think there was a scene in one of the trailers that was so loud that I, like, turned to Val and I was like, ugh. Like, I scrunched up my face, but... Never once in the movie can I remember doing that. Also, Godzilla vs. Kong. Tyler and I are going to have seen that by the time we do the next podcast because that comes out in 2 days, and Tyler and I are going to go see it together for show.
I remember seeing Dune 1 in just regular IMAX and still thinking, holy shit, these speakers are loud. But I think for this movie, they may have done that intentionally.
Oh, sure. No.
Sure.
It's the same thing. Like, Freeman, you heard the woman, like, the sound where they have, like, like, it's the... I'm not even going to try.
Yeah, the song.
That song is still something like that is still in this movie, and it's loud as hell. but you're just so wrapped up in it, and it just like hits you. Like the force of the shouting and singing is just so in your face, and it's like you just get. I got wrapped up in this movie every second of the way. Yeah, this I think coming off of the Oscars, one of my first thoughts was, I don't know how Denis Villeneuve doesn't win Best Director already for this year, next year. Like, I can't... This is such an act of pure vision, and you can see that in this, especially in the video I'm going to send you, Tyler, where he's talking about, like, every change... Because this is not the same as the book. Like, Tyler, I don't know how much you read the book. Like, there are definitely story things that are changed. And he's like, yeah, we really... We understood... We, like... You know, anyone who read the books knows that in the later books, Frank Herbert really regretted how people thought that, like, Dune was a positive story. And we really wanted to change that to kind of capture that essence of his original vision and what he develops later in the books and kind of bring that to the forefront earlier. And it's like, wow, they really went out of their way to, like, twist this in a way that matches what the actual idea behind this is. Because you read those later books, and they are not in any way hopeful or good books.
We're talking about, like, you know, Enter the Void weird.
There's a lot of eugenics.
Weird, yeah, it gets a lot of weird and a lot of depresso. Like,
Freeman, I'm gonna tell you this. In the later books, it is a recurring thing that Duncan Idaho from the first movie, Jason Momoa, he is cloned again and again for thousands of years.
Spoiler. Damn. It's pretty
spoiler from a book like 50 years old.
Yo, we should get Val's dad on here.
Oh no, Tyler! I want to
hear that man rant, bro.
Tyler, I sent him a link to the video, and his one comment was, "I don't really agree. I don't think Chani was this way in the original book." From a comment that Denis Villeneuve said, and I'm like,
"Yes,
Jim, come on! Like, this whole video is so impressive, and that's what you catch on to is the one phrase where he's like, I think whatever."
I just want to hear. No, we should get him on the podcast. I just want to hear him rant, dude. Because I know it would be fire. I just want to hear the lore, and I want to hear, because that when I think of a true Dune fan from day one, it's him.
Yeah. He actually saw it in theaters. You guys know that he doesn't go to the movies much. He and saw this before Val and I did. He saw this right away. Oh yeah.
I was telling Leslie,
and he did say it was good. We didn't get into specific reviews because Val and I hadn't seen it yet, but he did say he liked the movie.
Oh, okay.
You remember what his thoughts were about the first one?
I think he liked it. I mean, he liked it enough to go see this one immediately instead of saying, "No, this isn't faithful. I'm done with this."
Yeah, I was gonna say I do remember him saying that he liked the first one. Actually, I think I might be remembering this incorrectly, but I think it was a family outing.
Yes, it was. Not with us, but it was.
Not with you guys, but I think Val and everybody else went, if I'm remembering correctly.
I can't remember now, yeah.
I think this was still while you were in Ohio, I think.
Oh my god. Was it?
I think. I could be wrong.
No, it wasn't that long ago. I watched Dune here.
Oh, okay.
Maybe I did go with them. Either way, the movie's incredible. We got to keep moving. We're an hour and a half in, and there's still some heavy hitters to talk about. But yeah, Dune Part 2. The easy answer is, one last thing. Tyler, we did discuss this. I know it's pretty understood by anyone with a brain because it's called Part 2. You cannot watch this movie without having watched the first one. This is not one of those like Star Wars Empire Strikes Back. Feel free to jump in. This is not Marvel. Jump in whenever you want. Do not watch this movie unless you watched Part 1. Do not go, "Oh, I read the book." Just watch Part 1 or you won't be... Don't bother.
Can I watch Part 2 if I haven't watched Part 1 recently, though? Like, if I'm misremembering details from the first movie, is it going to kill my enjoyment?
Funny thing, I would watch. Have we ever watched Cinema Wins together? The Everything Great About stuff?
No.
So I fell off Cinema Sins years ago because I got tired of just all negative videos about movies. But Cinema Wins is really positive and a really fun channel that I watch with Val and sometimes Leslie. his videos are really good. I would watch his video. I can send you the link where he kind of hits a lot of the positive beats, but you still remember the basic flow of the movie, and it gets you back into it.
Gotcha.
I don't think you need more than that. Yeah, it's not even a refresher. It's just celebrating the good things in the movie and hitting a lot of the high points.
Gotcha. I was debating whether I needed to rewatch all of the first one before seeing the second again.
If you have the chance,
Probably
sure. It certainly won't hurt you. The movie is starting like 30 seconds after the first movie ended.
Like with them walking along.
It's okay. It's like, hey, the sun went down on the day they were walking on that ridge, and that's where it starts. Like, that's how soon it is.
Gotcha. It's immediately after.
Yeah. Tyler, what's Shrinking?
Oh no, this one's me.
Oh, is this Freeman's
that was
thing?
his.
Yeah, this is the one. Yeah, so my other friend group we're about to wrap up Ted Lasso on Apple TV, and we were looking and saw that the same director and production staff did another show for Apple TV called Shrinking, starring Jason Segel and Harrison Ford. And I'll just go through like the first half of the first episode, but like they both work as like therapists at the same practice. But Jason Segel, his wife died like a year ago, and he's just been like losing it. It's been a year of him just like taking drugs, partying, not taking care of his teenage daughter, not being home, and then he's finally done with this, and he's just starting to like come to terms with where he is now. And he's got to reconnect with friends. He's got to get his daughter to not hate him. He's still working with the same patients since a therapist, but like he's also just fed up with his patients like not moving on in life and just being stuck. So he starts trying to do things where he just starts forcing his patients to just do things, like giving them advice instead of listening to their problems. Like, oh, well, here's what you should do. And it's interesting to see how both he tries to fix his life as well as fix other people's, and like sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And then Harrison Ford is also kind of working his way into Jason Segel's life because he doesn't like what he's doing with this new therapy style, but at the same time he's also trying to help his daughter reconnect with him. So it's overall it's interesting. Same director of Ted Lasso, same guy who did Scrubs and what's called it Milftown, Cougarville. Is that the name of this
Milftown? You said the same title twice.
Either way, it's a good show. It's super wholesome. That's all I'm going to say about that. I'm only like 3 episodes in, but I just want to binge the entirety of season 1. I think it was confirmed for season 2 already, so very excited, but that's not coming out anytime soon.
Freeman, it's so funny for you to it's so funny to see you watching something that isn't on Letterboxd or Mal.
Yes.
I have a bunch of stuff to blow through before the final heavy hitter, but I'm going to rattle these off pretty quick. I almost don't even want to talk about this movie, but it's kind of fun to just rag on something every once in a while. So, not this past week and the one before, Val and I took our son to meet my brother's son, my son's cousin, for the first time ever. Very cute. But we watched 2 action movies because, of course, my brother would put on action movies while we're there. The first one we watched, I'm doing these in reverse order, The Beekeeper. I remember when the trailers came out for this, and I was like, this looks like the dumbest, most stereotypical whatever action movie ever. Honestly, this one is like one of the better, just kind of along for the ride generic action. Like, it's not going to set the world on fire. It's not John Wick. But, like, this is kind of the tier below John Wick, where, like, this is a fun action movie with, like, nothing too crazy, but, like, some pretty wild action that's good. Jason Statham has some really good B puns that are very straight-faced. Got to protect the hive. Like it's some goofy shit like that. It's the goofy kind that's like it doesn't take itself too seriously, but like Jason Statham seems very serious. I liked it a good bit. There were definitely some good moments in this. Jason Statham cuts off a guy's fingers. You know, and they show it all, like he just takes it to a bandsaw and just whoop, slices it off and then throws the guy out of his house. Like, it's pretty good.
Oh, that's nice.
And then he catches up with the guy 5 minutes later and throws him off a bridge. So, like, why not? It's great. The guy just has the worst day ever. Honestly, I would recommend that if you're looking for... I would recommend it if you're looking for, like, a not crazy action movie to watch once. What I wouldn't recommend is The Marksman. This is a Liam Neeson action, quote-unquote, action movie. This is the most by-the-book generic, like, talk about AI generated. Like, this is the most nothing burger of a movie I've ever seen. You know it's a bad one when me and my brother and Val was making fun of this movie while we were watching it.
Damn, that's how you know you fucked up. If you get Val to talk and
during a
make
movie,
fun of the movie,
yeah.
That's how you know you fucked up. You know what's really I always find funny? I always gotta bring it up. Literally, I bring it up literally every time Liam Neeson does one of these movies where like he is a generic guy with a gun on a poster.
Oh my god!
And like I think there's even a site somewhere where like someone was like compiled all the movie posters where he's in, like where it's just him with a gun. And apparently Liam Neeson is like a huge advocate against guns.
Oh my god!
Like
you wouldn't know it watching this movie.
Yeah, you wouldn't know it watching literally all of his movies, actually.
God, it's so
because everyone except minus fucking Star Wars, he has a gun. Like he's featured on the fucking poster with a gun.
I was waiting.
Yeah, I like bringing it up. Sorry,
this movie is so bad. I was waiting for Liam Neeson to be like, "It'll be okay. I'm the marksman," or "I'm a good marksman," or like it's so the most surprising part of this movie is that no one calls him a marksman at any point, or even says that he's a particularly good shot. Like he's retired from the Marines like 30 years ago or something like that, and he shoots like 4 people. It's like what this movie being called The Marksman is called The Marksman because Tyler sent the link. This is great.
I sent the link, and this is This is from 2015.
Oh god, there's been more.
Oh my god, it's usually a pistol though.
Yeah, it's usually That's funny. So for the listeners at home, I posted an article on our Discord. All the movie posters in which Liam Neeson holds a handgun by independent.co.uk in case you want to check it out.
That's so funny.
Oh god, there's so many of them.
And more have come out since then.
No,
but except I think in the more recent ones he's holding a rifle though.
That's
at least
the marksman. He has a rifle. It's just him. Oh my god! You guys should look up the poster or look at Letterboxd where it's just him with a rifle in front of clouds. You literally could generate this poster in 30 seconds.
I know. Well, that's what I'm saying. Like sorry, I'm gonna look up other ones because he came out with a few other ones where he's on the poster like holding a gun.
Mm-hmm.
But you guys keep going.
No, I'm gonna end it because I don't want to give this movie any more time. I'm gonna read the review I wrote on Letterboxd because I'm really proud of how I ripped this movie apart. I've gone out of my way to not watch many directed-video DVD movies in my life, but I was tricked by Liam Neeson. Mostly bad acting, very predictable plot every second of the way, brings zero new to the table, and there's more than enough better action movies in the world to avoid this one forever.
Damn, bro.
There's a scene where Liam Neeson's like, I don't have a phone. And he goes into a gas station. He's like, I want to buy a map. And I looked at the screen. And I went, guys, how are the bad guys going to get this map and find out where him and this kid are going?
Damn.
And lo and behold, literally, you see the kid circle where they're going. You see the kid drop it on the ground. You see a bad guy pick it up. And then when the bad guys are about to lose him, they go, oh, boss, they're going right here. So predictable. Terrible movie.
Jesus.
So dumb.
Land of Saints and Sinners. He's holding a shotgun.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Let's see. Blacklight. Yeah, he's holding the handgun in this one. This came out in 2022. Dude, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop.
Can I just ask, why does Qui-Gon Jinn feel like he needs to make these movies to pay his... the main character in this movie is like, I have no money because my wife passed away and all her medical debts sucked away all our money. And like, is that Liam Neeson for real, where it's just like he has nothing else to do?
Memory 2022. He's holding a Walther PPK in that one.
Oh my god.
Yep.
All right. Let's move on to some anime because the anime season is officially ending / over. And there's a couple
Men in Black International. Oh no, he's holding the neuralizer in that. Never mind.
That's basically.
I'm gonna keep going with these.
That's a brain gun.
That's a brain gun.
I should have more shows by next podcast because a bunch of them have like 1 episode left.
Yeah, I'm struggling to catch on everything before the new season starts.
I'll be fine. I'll be done by Sunday because when Shangri-La comes out, I'll already be done with everything else. But 3 shows did finish for Val and I. First one, Freeman. I'm not going to say too much about Apothecary Diaries because I know you're working on it. This, hold on. I need to pull up my scores for these 3. This got a solid 8 out of 10. This, in a weaker season, could easily have been anime of the season. Very gorgeous animation, a very fun. I'll say this: the first season this was out, that Ramonohashi Ken show, that like Sherlock Holmes kind of schlocky show that got confirmed for a season 2. We didn't even talk about it.
Yeah, that one.
Like, this is so much better of a mystery show than that kind of bad show. Like, even Val, who loves Sherlock Holmes, is not interested in watching the sequel to that show.
Damn.
But this one, I think I talked about that last season too, but this one was really good. This palace politics thing. Mao Mao is, I know it's been parroted a lot, but she's genuinely one of the most interesting female leads to a show we've had in a long time. Gorgeous animation, good music, great production value, interesting plots. Like, it's one of those shows that doesn't do anything too flashy because there's no fighting. There's like no fighting in this show at all. But the mind games are really strong here, and that can be a good show. And I would definitely recommend this. This is one I'd even say, Tyler, you might be interested just because of like the political intrigue kind of aspect of it.
Okay.
Can be fun.
All right. Get into it.
It also it doesn't have like typical anime bullshit.
Yes.
Yeah.
This season and time has definitely proven that the less anime bullshit, the better for me in general. And this show has zero. Well, okay. There's like 5% because Mao Mao sometimes randomly grows cat ears when she's excited that no one talks about. But overall,
like other than that, this could have been live action. Like,
yes.
There's nothing about it that demanded being an anime.
Yes. And then in terms of the kind of more generic-y stuff that Val and I watched this season, every season these days seems to have like 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 that Val and I are eager to watch every week, but at the end of the day, it's really just pretty generic. 7th, oh God, what's the full title? Hold on. This is such a dumb long title. 7th Time Loop. The villainess enjoys a carefree life married to her worst enemy. There's an exclamation mark there, but I didn't feel like exclaiming. It was fine. It was fun. It's kind of a cool take on the reincarnated shot thing where this girl who gets kicked out of, is engaged to be married to the head of a nation, gets kicked out and falsely accused of cheating, but she goes on the run, lives a whole life as a traveling merchant, and then dies in a war 10 years later and comes back to that moment she got kicked out, tries to do the life again, and goes on a different path and does this 6 times before ending up getting picked up by the guy who is the head of the nation that starts this war that kills her every single time 10 years from now. So it's kind of a cool premise. Pretty quickly just turns into a girl who can do everything and solve every problem because of one of her past lives, makes the emperor fall for her because she's got like literal knowledge from the future. So it's nothing. It's not going to set the world on fire, but if you're kind of into these like romancy shows, like generic-y ones, like this is a good one of those at least. We had a fun time watching it, but never really recommend it.
Did it at least resolve its plot in the 12 episodes, or did it like demand another season that it's not getting?
So, they definitely leave it on the I've only just begun my journey to stop my husband from causing a war that engulfs the world, like, or some dumb thing like that. But like the main inciting event that happens in 10 years has already been averted because she made him make an alliance with the nation that he attacks first. So it's kind of wrapped up already. This is the kind of show that, like, if you have nothing else to do, like, or an anime studio could easily be like, yeah, we'll do this for like $5, and just make another one of these. The studio doesn't do a lot of famous stuff, it looks like, so I don't know. It's nothing incredible, but it's not like the worst trash ever. It's just kind of generic-y, whatever.
Gotcha.
But the last show. Oh, these guys did the skeleton. Part of these guys. Oh, wow. There's 2 studios listed, and one of the studio Hornets is listed as having worked on. Oh God, what was the name of the show? I loved this show. Oh, Somali. Somali and the Forest Spirit, and the Skeleton Knight in Another World. Both shows that I actually watched and kind of enjoyed, especially Somali.
What about Somalia?
Damn, I never got around to Somali.
Somali is actually still my avatar on Mal, funny enough. My profile image on Mal is from Somali and the Forest Spirit. Or no, not Mal. Where is it?
Yeah, I was going to say, you
Crunchyroll.
refuse to set profile pictures on Mal, and it drives me crazy.
Fuck Mal. On Crunchyroll, my icon is Somali from Somali and the Forest Spirit. So, actually, it's the Forest Spirit. But anyway, the main event. My third 10 out of 10 anime of all time.
Oh man, are you all right?
Are you all right?
Can you hear me?
Stop, Friedman. I do this to Val. No one does this to me. I do this to Val. I hurt Val like that. Friedman, I turned to Val and said the line from the finale when we finished another show yesterday. And she turned and she almost slapped me in the face.
Damn.
I don't know. I don't know what to say about Frieren. This is in the top 3 of all time with Vinland Saga Season 2 and Violet. On a given day, this might be better than Vinland. In a given mood, this might be more... I don't think anything will ever connect with me like Violet did, as like a personal thing. But in terms of stories that I care about, Frieren it's hard. There are times where aspects of Frieren make me care more than Vinland. Like, Vinland is about Torfinn's journey. Frieren is about a world, and I usually don't fall in love with world building, but like, the love that the author of Frieren has for magic makes me love magic in this world, and that feels really special. And the production, the music, the voice acting, the animation, like, it's just the whole package. Frieren is in that echelon of shows, like with Vinland, where I would recommend this to literally anyone. You don't have to care about anime. And it's not because it's a show like Friedman, you mentioned earlier, like, oh, you could do Apothecary Diaries as live action. Like, no, I don't think you could do Frieren as live action, because unless you could I don't think CGI could capture the magic of the magic like animation can. If that makes any sense at all. There are scenes in this movie, Frieren, I think, Tyler, how far in are you again?
I only finished the first core or whatever.
Okay, so you're a million years behind.
Yeah.
Friedman,
I know what you're going to talk about, and it's balls deep in the second half.
Yeah, well, that scene I have watched maybe a dozen times at least, because that moment just feels so special to me, and there are so many things in this show that speak to such a deep love of the world and magic in general, and what magic could be, so much more than what so many other shows talk about, where it's like, ooh, look at my force power, look at my lightning and all this stuff. Like, those are always cool, but when you really get down to it, magic, if magic was real, it could be so much more. And Frieren feels like the first show that really wants to explore that, and doesn't not just explore that, but have a character that loves that. And it just feels so special. Like, that's what I'm harping on. But like, every piece of this just feels incredible. And I mean, the guy Evan Call does the soundtrack. He's the guy who did the Violet Evergarden soundtrack. So easy win. I don't know.
Episode 1 of the podcast, everybody. What is magic? Hey.
Oh my God, that's totally right. I didn't think of that.
This definitely feels like it's like, I'm gonna say the sentence first and I'll elaborate. But like, it's the One Punch Man of this generation. It's Madhouse coming together and getting this absolutely stellar production team for a project. Because I think there were so many ways you could have adapted Frieren and it could have been terrible, but they nailed the tone so well, coupled with just the great soundtrack, with the great animation. Like, this show is the complete package, and I think that all the parts working together is what elevated it. Because like, if if it was like if the show didn't have good animation, like I'd still enjoy it. If the show didn't have an amazing soundtrack, the scenes would still be good, but they wouldn't like hit the way they hit. Like everything, everything on this production was phenomenal. I think that really elevated the whole thing, and it's very much like what happened with One Punch Man. You look at season 1 versus season 2, like it's the same plot, it's the same characters, but like unless you execute it correctly, you got nothing.
Frieren, I think what you're describing, we talked about Dune Part 2 earlier, and I said I gave Dune a perfect score, even though it felt like there were things in Dune Part 2 that were disappointing or frustrating or slightly less good than I would have hoped. Tyler and I talked about this. There's a couple characters in it that feel like they were promoted as being very important that mean very little in the grand scheme of things. There's also a few very minor things you could say about Dune that you could potentially tweak. Frieren doesn't have a single one of those. I can't think of any time in Frieren that I wasn't glued to the screen thinking that everything was firing on all cylinders. Like, it just is such, like you said, it's such a complete package, top to bottom. And I think it's important to say it's okay, because I'm sure the show doesn't resonate with some people. Tyler hasn't felt the need to continue it.
There are a ton of people who are dropping the show because, like, it's, in their words, it's too slow and nothing's happening.
Sure,
which
that's fine.
They're not wrong. This is a slow show where it's not a lot of action.
In my defense, there are multiple reasons it stopped.
Sure.
For a bit, and then the way I was accessing it got changed.
Tyler, it's no. It's I'm not saying I'm also not saying.
I think Freeman's laughing because he knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, listeners, let's short pirate stories. Share Crunchyroll with everyone. Crunchyroll cracked down on that shit, and I had to cut off a lot of people I know from anime, and I was concerned that a lot of them would just drop anime entirely. And it sounds like Tyler might be one of them. No, I'm joking.
No, I was actually gonna talk to you about something later. Because I was like, because I've been meaning to like keep watching it with Michelle, but like I literally just like forget about. Oh no, what? So this is my process, right? Because like we'll watch it, like, oh, we want to watch something. Let's watch something real quick. Oh, what can we watch? Oh, we can watch Frieren. Oh wait, I don't have access to the Crunchyroll. I should ask Freeman later on. Forgets to ask Freeman later on, and then it never happens. So that's the chain of events that's happened. Oh, and then I've been playing Helldivers and like a bunch of video games.
No, totally, and it's not like we don't know when a season 2 is coming, and everybody watches things at their own pace, and like you said, you've had access issues. I'm not saying you didn't want to watch Frieren, but like Freeman said, there are plenty of people who are like, this isn't for me, and that's okay. But if this is even sort of going to be something you enjoy,
the second half is just.
There's a reason that. So I'm sure it's talked, Freeman. I know that Trash Taste has done bits on this, and I know that many people in like the anime space talk about this, but like every time a big Oshi no Ko episode 1 came out and it got rated 10 out of 10 by everybody on the planet, and it beat Full Metal Alchemist on the Mal chart, right?
Oh god, I hate every season this happens.
It does. Except.
Wait, is Frieren number 1 right now?
Frieren has been number 1 and is still number 1 by like a lot.
Look, I don't really have any skin in this game because I gave 10 out of 10 to both of those shows.
No, I know.
As well as third place as well.
Let me put it this way. As of right now, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood is still at the top of the chart of all time on Mal with a 9.09 aggregate score. Frieren
Holy shit.
is sitting at 9.39.
This is insane.
With over 200,000 votes. That's with Mal purging votes of people who, right, Freeman? Doesn't it like auto purge votes? That's how Oshi no Ko fell away.
So the way it works is
after
a show is completed, it disregards the opinion of people who've watched less than 25% of it.
Perfect.
But it also means like long running shows never have any negative reviews because like if you didn't watch the first 80 episodes of Dragon Ball Z, your opinion doesn't matter.
But it's still, like, the fact that this has held on and is still at the top is not something that happens against Full Metal. Like I said, Oshi no Ko spiked up and then immediately fell away. Like, this is still at the top, and not by a non-existent margin. Like, time might still drop it down, but still.
So I think My Animus did like one of the random posts. They're like, "Oh, look, these were the top 5 rated episodes of Frieren," and it wasn't like only the beginning, only the end. It was like all of the big highlight episodes were very clearly rated highly. I don't know how much. Like, I don't know if Frieren fell to the bandwagon effect. Like Oshinoko, like I would get constant like reels and TikToks connecting to this, whereas like I haven't seen jack shit for Frieren content.
Which is wild that it's still as popular as apparently it is.
How is this like the hidden gem of anime?
Meanwhile, Himmel is a literal like meme
literal
in Japan.
Hero.
A literal. Oh, stop.
Or remind me to send you another painful Himmel meme.
Oh God.
All right, let's wrap this up. We're gushing over Frieren.
It's special.
Yeah, I'm just concerned that
No.
in true Madhouse fashion, we're not going to get a season 2 that holds up.
Stop.
That's my only concern.
Stop.
I mean, oh my God, Vinland Saga season 2 held up.
It got better actually.
Yeah, but that wasn't a Madhouse production. I don't know. I literally don't know any instance of either Madhouse coming back to do a season 2 or coming back to do a season 2 well after hitting it out of the park.
Well, maybe they'll finally. Maybe Freeman. Anime has been learning lessons in the last few years. Look at all these season 2s that we're getting. You said Overlord. I famously remember you saying Overlord is done forever after season 3, and then we got season 4.
Yeah, it sounded like it was unheard of to get a season 4 at that point in time. We're living in the new era.
And then Spice and Wolf is back in like what, a week?
We're living in the new era where Kadokawa is like, holy shit! If we like use our IPs, people spend money on them. We're in that new era.
That new tech. Anyway, yeah, that's everything. Let's just stop. Maybe we have time for one drop or something. Probably not, but whatever.
Nah,
it's bedtime.
No. If
I gotta
Democracy needs to sleep.
Democracy sleeps when it needs to, despite what the propaganda says.
But that sounds like.
What is this anti-Super Earth speech, Tim?
Hey, Freeman said it first. I swear, I offered and I got shot down. So it's not on me, guys. I swear. Don't send the secret police after me, please.
All right, sounds suspicious.
No, but I think with that we'll end it here. Next time we'll have a bunch more anime that ended this season, as well as I'm sure other stuff going on in the whole wide world. But until next time, my name is Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
Just only Tyler.
We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for listening.